I am Nicole McGann, resident and real estate agent in South Jersey. And today I am here with Olivia Cleaver. She lives in Haddonfield, and she is here to share with us her top 5 reasons that she loves living in Haddonfield, even during COVID and all the lockdown and all the craziness. Oh, and here comes the ice cream truck.
One thing I don't like is the ice cream truck 24/7.
Okay, maybe he'll just keep going. Let's continue. So thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So let's start, what would be the first reason that you love living in Haddonfield?
Well, the first reason I think is just how beautiful the town is. I mean, it's really a gorgeous town. I love the architecture of the homes. We live in a Queen Anne Victorian, and we live in the historic district, so we have to comply with certain rules about the historic district. But it's nice because it maintains that historic feel, and there's still a lot of variation between the homes. And our downtown, of course, is really beautiful to walk around, especially during the holidays.
Are we on number 2? Or just
well,
beauty?
That's beauty of the town. But it does take me into number 2 because my number 2 thing is the walkability of the town.
Yeah.
We can get really anything we need and get anywhere without a car. Even pre-COVID, I hardly ever got in my car.
Yeah. Do you even have a second? Do you have one car?
We do have 2 cars. We talked about getting rid of the one.
Yeah.
We even talked about going down to
none
at this time, because the schools, you walk to the schools. We don't have buses in Haddonfield. And you can walk to the supermarket, downtown to stores and restaurants. You can get on the Patco and go into the city. So, I mean, most people really don't need cars, especially now, I mean, with working from home. But even before, I would put gas in my car once a month. So,
Nice.
yeah. So I really do like that. Number 3, I think about it from a kid's perspective, and I think it's a great town to grow up in for kids. Talking about walkability, walking to the schools, they walk or ride their bikes to the school every day. If you go by the school during school hours, it's hundreds of bikes lined up. It's really cool. And I think especially as they get older, they have more freedom to go around and do things together. You'll see them up at Starbucks and hanging out, and that could be good or bad. Because as a teenager, I definitely would have been on that train to the city, which I don't know if everybody wants their kid doing, but I think it's a really fun town to grow up in.
And it's sort of it feels sort of small towny. It's like a small town, but you're 10 miles from Philadelphia.
Right, yeah. And actually, when we moved here, I thought that was great. We're 2 blocks from the Patco station. I thought, well, if we get jobs in the city, we'll be on that. It's very ideal. Of course, neither one of us has ever worked in the city since we've lived here 11 years. But if we did, it would be a big bonus. Yeah. But even just for going out, to restaurants, we would take the train in the city and not have to drive or park.
Yeah. No, you don't have to take a cab.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 4 is the people. I really like my neighbors and everybody I've met in town. I think sometimes Haddonfield gets a bad rap, sometimes deservedly so, but for the most part, people here are really nice and very generous. I don't know your town, if you're probably on the Buy Nothing pages, and we have a Haddonfield Parents page on Facebook. And it's funny sometimes because if anybody says they need something, whether it's to borrow something or there's a family that's, on hard times.
Yeah.
And people are like tripping over one another to
help them.
Yeah, so I think that's really nice. People here are very generous and outgoing, and also very fun. Like around the holidays, like I mentioned, especially Halloween, which this year is a little different, but still decorating and Christmas, and we have a lot of parades for the holidays. You've come to them before.
Yeah, I've been here for July 4th. We just hung out in the backyard and watched the fireworks that were happening in town.
Yeah, it's fun. And then the last thing I was going to say, number 5, which probably you've not heard this from anybody, but I will say it, is I love our library.
Guess where Olivia works.
I work part-time at the local library. But, it's something people might not think about when they're looking for a home and looking to move. But I think the library and how well funded it is, how well it's utilized, speaks a lot about the town, because it shows the priorities of the people. And you know, you can look at school systems, and we do have a good school system here in Haddonfield, but the library shows a dedication to lifelong learning.
That's what I was
because
thinking,
it's
yeah.
not just children who use the library, it's a lot of seniors and everybody in between. We have a lot of programming for kids and older adults, and yeah, I think having a good library and a vibrant library is very, very important.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I was with a couple of women in Haddonfield yesterday, and all three of them live here and in Haddonfield, and every time we turned a corner, they were saying hi to someone else. It was like everybody knew everybody else.
Right,
somehow.
yeah. Yeah, it is funny, like with trick-or-treating, you know, you can't get a block. You're like just hugging everybody, hello. It's, yeah, you get to know everybody very quickly. And it probably becomes even more so as your children get older, because we have 3 elementary schools in town. So you tend to know kind of the parents of the kids who go feed into your elementary school, but then there's 1 middle school and 1 high school. So once everybody's together, you probably
know everyone.
Really know everybody in town. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your top 5 reasons to live in Haddonfield and why Olivia loves living in Haddonfield. And visit the Haddonfield Library.
Yes.
So much to do there. If you want to keep following along with the Love South Jersey interviews and see what's going on in South Jersey, events, interviews, small business interviews, you can find me on Love South Jersey on Instagram, Love South Jersey Life on Facebook, and LoveSouthJersey.com. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Bye.